experience. Presented by Joey Mandingo Music, emotional damage on Amazon, and Covenant Builders, Millworth, Lego Shield. This podcast is brought to you by Emotional Damage. All right. Well, good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick intro, then we'll do intros across the board, and then we're gonna divide this by topics, and then we're gonna integrate. The topic today is integration. And I want to start by reading you guys this a quote from this book that I've been reading lately. I don't know if you guys have read it. Anybody?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Carlos read it, right?
Yeah, that's a while ago. I read that a while ago.
Yeah, I've been caught on chapter 2. It's all about self-esteem, and that's how I think I'd like to set the tone for the conversation with this. Here we go. Let me see. Where's it at? Okay, there we go. You don't need to invent your ideal life from scratch. You just need to figure out what makes you feel alive. So if what someone else is doing sparks your interest, take notice. It could mean your calling has something in common with theirs. So get specific with the things in their life that turn you on. Is it because they get to travel the world? Is it that they have a solid routine? Is it that they have no routine? Is it that they work alone? That they work in the nude? That they get to be outside all day? That they work with their hands, their eyes, their ears, their animals, their spouse? The more specific you get, the easier it will be to create a picture of what you want. Love that. So, all right, just do a quick intro for myself. My name is Josias, and I have, oh my God, there's more people than I thought. Ooh. Today. I have traveled 38 countries. That was my goal, and now I am working on creating a mastermind brainstorming group where, like, a whole community where we can not only.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
There you go, man. Welcome.
Hi, Jose.
Yeah, I'm just giving a quick intro, and then we're gonna do intros for everybody. So, so now what I'm working on is creating this community of awesome people that I thought I'll only have like 3 people today. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, let's go around and let's start with Carlos, and then we'll do like a 1-minute intro for each person, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Carlos Aviles. I've been doing online marketing for about 12 years, and the last 8 I've been helping coaches, experts, and service providers run Facebook ads. And I did a quick pivot about 2 years ago. I'm doing everything with my custom GPTs. So AI, anything related to AI, I have it. Webinars, email sequences, you name it. And so my goal is to help people use AI with implementing, not just dreaming about stuff. Actually do it, because that's what my clients want. So that's what I deliver.
Okay, let's go to Prosomnia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nyree Penn. I'm the founder and CEO of Prosomnia Sleep Health and Wellness, where we make dreams a reality. I am the inventor of Prosomnia Sleep Therapy, the first 1-hour anesthesia-induced sleep therapy for REM sleep disorders and chronic insomnia. So we are a comprehensive sleep center in North Miami, Florida, where we service people with REM sleep disorders.
Nice. All right, we got AI, we got sleep. All right, let's go to Robert.
Hey, everyone. My name's Robert Radnody. I'm a former chemical engineer. I worked for Exxon for 25 years. Then I quit to become the head track and field and cross-country coach at Pepperdine University. And while I was there, I didn't have any scholarships or money. So I went and became a hypnotherapist because I wanted to hypnotize my athletes to run faster. And along the way, I became a Tony Robbins trainer and coach, and a Joe Dispenza trainer and coach, and a hypnotherapist. And now I've found the love of my life. She's a Tantra teacher. So we have created a new institute, the Sacred Institute. And we teach something that we call Neurotantra, for my neuroscience background and her Tantra background. So we're having a lot of fun.
Whoa, that's mind-blowing. All right, let's go to Miss Marvel.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Adriana Di Marvel. I'm tuning from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'm a confidence and communication coach. I'm the founder of Become & Conquer, and I help women in midlife crisis to go from voiceless to impactful, because I truly believe that we all have a gift inside of us. We just don't know it yet, and all our gifts are there to serve others. Thank you so much.
Nice. Communication coach. All right, let's go to Sierra.
What's up, guys? I jumped in a few minutes late, so thank you so much for your patience. So if you've ever been in a Facebook group that's either spammy or dead, or only the admins are getting any attention, I've primarily focused on Facebook groups for the last 5 years, but I've also helped with communities on Discord and School and Slack and lots of others like Reddit style forum communities and stuff like that. And so that's what I've done for the last 5 years. I've served over 350 private clients, 75 of those specifically just for their communities, and worked with anyone from new beginners all the way up to my 8-figure friends and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. They bring me in essentially when they want the group to be somewhere that people love it so much they never want to leave. They actually enjoy being sold to, and then they love bringing in people just like them. And so I do that through a few frameworks that are all around building culture, and then also through frameworks that are geared around launches and increasing the conversion rate with people who are tire kickers and stuff like that. So that's my specialty.
Nice. So Facebook group funnel flow?
No, I actually call it community engagement strategy because I get my favorite thing to do is revive a dead community.
Excellent. All right. I'm sure I know some people that I could, that's a good one. All right, Mons, let's go to Mons.
Yes, hello, my name is Måns. I come from Stockholm, Sweden. I have an interest in meditation, have done that since I was 17, and I also like self-development to always improve and to write. I write a lot about different philosophical topics and improvements with meditation and in general like that. And otherwise, I like to travel many countries, and that's it right now.
All right, so welcome everybody. The topic today is integration, more specifically vertical integration. The reason for this is if we can take a couple of examples here would be Apple, vertical integrated, and then there's a rapper that died not too long ago, Nipsey Hussle, also vertical integrated. It's where you control everything from the retail space to the content to everything. So that's the topic today. But in this aspect specifically, what I want to do is vertical integration, where let's say we can build on top of each other's ideas. So let's say Carlos will talk about AI, and then sleep. How can we integrate like sleep or AI for sleep? And then, we can go to a communication aspect of this, and then we can go to a hypnotherapist aspect of this. How can we create a community that revolves around it? So it's going to be like a little bit of a mess in the beginning, but the point is to just brainstorm and then get to a point to where we can find some real value here. So, all right, so let's go to Carlos first. Carlos, tell us, well, first, let's pretend you're an alien, like in the book, you're a badass. And then you landed in your own body, and then you embody this Carlos guy. You have no idea who he is, but now you have all of his resources and all of his knowledge. How would you use the knowledge you have in order to like create some massive value today?
Oh, well, so I just came from Amazing Planet. Can I request to share? Because I think I'm just gonna share this presentation thing that I have. So when it comes to AI, if you want to integrate AI, you gotta really think about the purpose that you're gonna integrate it with. I basically I created a complete system that has every layer when it comes to launching with AI. But before I talk about that, I want to make sure you guys understand that there's levels to this. So this is one of the presentations I did for a 3-day challenge that I had. First thing is that if you're talking to AI, like most people just get on ChatGPT or whatever, and they start asking questions, that doesn't really require much skill. Then you have a lot of people that are like buying prompts or selling prompts. That gets you just a little bit better results. But then you have the next level, which is going to be custom GPTs, where you train a model to be an expert at one thing. So for example, launching websites or launching YouTube channels or whatever. That's when you start getting AI to work for you in a bigger way. So what I did is I moved around everything to level 4, where I have sets of GPTs that do complex tasks, and you can copy some of those results, modify it and put it into the next one. So I'll show you that in a second. Ultimately, what everybody wants is autonomous agents. So for example, hey, I have a new patient that came in and he wants to get better sleep. Go ahead and write him an email so that he's welcome on board, whatever, right? And you send it in and you speak it and it does it for you. Ultimately, that's what everybody wants, but we're not there yet. So I'm going to show you real quick. This is what I created I call it the flywheel method. So what I bring to the market is basically a 5-step process where you can click on any of these GPTs. So let's go ahead and run a sample. Anybody want to volunteer so I can give you a detailed avatar for your market? And then I think that would be helpful. Anybody want to get data for the market?
I need help.
Okay, so, absolutely. So can you tell me about who you help, the problem, and exactly what you bring to the market? Like, is there a specific framework? And then we'll go from there, and I'll show you how everything builds into a puzzle, right? So go ahead and tell me.
Okay, so I help every organism on Earth that needs sleep. What was the other question?
And what's the main problem that they have?
Oh, they can't sleep. And our unique framework is we can induce REM sleep with anesthesia.
Okay, induce REM sleep with I'm not a really good speller. So anesthesia. Okay, cool. So let's see. All right. So this is just gonna be is gonna go ahead and first is gonna be like, all right, well, let's go ahead and get clear. Okay. Are you going for a specific group of people or everyone? Because the problem when it comes to AI, to be completely honest, and that's even marketing, is that people go too broad. So you got to specify specifically, right? Who's your ideal client?
That's been my issue. We service everyone. At some point in everyone's life, someone will have a sleep problem. So, I mean, we can say parents, kids, dogs, men, women, you choose.
Okay. All right. So right now, the biggest thing is that we can help all different types of people, all types of backgrounds. So I want to go ahead and narrow this down.
Okay, best paying clients are athletes.
Okay, best paying clients are athletes. Okay,
love it.
So
here.
currently, our best paying clients are athletes. So when you create the report, go ahead and do that. All right. So now I was going to go ahead and create a report because I gave it a little bit more context, right? So when it comes to AI, you have to give it context. So right now, sleep recovery services for high performing athletes. And so what it's going to do is going to go through the demographics and psychographics really quickly. So this stuff I can use for targeting. So for example, income 150K from endorsements, leagues, and salaries, education level, college, etc., etc. So I'm going to go this kind of fast so that we can get to the results. Top internal desires, achieve peak physical output, faster recovery, better performance, maintain competitive edge. All right. So what I like to focus on a lot of times is that the actual transformation that we offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, right? This GPT, by the way, has a lot of different things. So you can expand on any pain points. You can create multiple personas, team, solo competitors. You can develop a complete marketing strategy from this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build, let's go ahead and use this audience to angle. So if you guys are familiar with Eugene Schwartz talks about figuring out the different levels of awareness. So for example, if somebody has a sleep problem, but they don't really know what the problem is, then they're not probably going to look for a solution. So somebody that is actively looking for a solution, ideally that will be a better client. So as you can see here, I'm just going to say yes for the defaults. I'm just going to, because this GPT basically is going to tell me, hey, this is what I'm thinking that you want to get done. So it's thinking for me and I can clarify and make it better for this demo. I'm just kind of going to skip this. All right. So here we go. So this is level 1. All right. So this is level 1. People that are frustrated by platoon recovery despite everything. Sees data shows RM boost from anesthesia sleep. Okay. So this is like people that are kind of just using.
Yeah. So athletes use it for peak performance. Whereas the average person would for insomnia or sleep disorder or sleep deprivation.
There you go. So then as you read this, I'm gonna send this to you later so you can actually read this in more detail. But you can see here like every little bucket is going to be different type of marketing that you can go after. So I'm going to skip this. I'm just going to go to the bottom part where it says, okay, this is the people that are not aware. This is people that are aware. So for example, an angle, why sleep hacks failed and what finally work, right? So you can use that. Data-driven optimizer, hard data, fast gains, include a 90-day REM sleep. So this is people that are actively looking for a solution, right? And then you get them in your world. You can maybe run a retargeting ad and be like, hey, this is a testimonial. So you warm them up from the different levels of awareness. So like long story short, let me just go ahead and go and copy this report that I had here. And I don't want to demo everything, but basically you can go to the next phase where you can create your offer. I actually a Hermosi style offer. You can do that. You can go ahead and build your branding, copy and paste that, and start building your branding, your social media. So let's say you wanted to create a YouTube strategy for this. So you can also deploy this GPT. Hey, so I want to create a YouTube strategy for the following avatar. Go ahead and create a 7-day plan for this. So I can go ahead and interact with this GPT, anything related to YouTube. So I can paste my data. I can show them thumbnails. I can tell it, hey, create a calendar based on this keyword that I'm trying to rank. So this GPT has been actually trained on my own specific framework, and I'll show you what that framework is in a second. So, but if imagine, right, why elite athletes can't sleep and what they're finally doing about it. So,
Hey Carlos, there's I'm trying to have the other guests go as well. So like
yeah,
can you just give us a result and then we'll move on to the next person and then
yeah,
we can
absolutely.
come back to this a little later.
Yeah, so the results are basically whatever you guys want to do, you integrate it and you can create anything. Funnels, emails, and so that's what I do with my system. Long story short, I basically created a system so you can deploy campaigns way faster. It doesn't matter what type.
Excellent. That's beautiful. All right.
Hey, Carlos, will you make sure you paste my name into your AI?
Absolutely. Can you just send me your email? I'll email you
Yeah,
all the
we're like
details.
all of the networking, we're gonna do it after the Zoom. This is for value. We're gonna develop some value here, and then after the Zoom, I'm gonna do a Facebook chat where we can connect everybody together. If you can connect, we can connect there. So, all right, well let's go to you. Tell us a little bit, give us a short presentation, and then like let's keep building on each other.
Oh, me. So essentially that's what we do. And so I can definitely see how I could integrate sleep services into everyone's potential market because especially like Sierra is definitely Facebook. I'm really interested in. I think there was a doctor here a minute ago, and he does the hypnosis, and Mans, I believe, does the hypnosis as well. Like, there's definitely like some integration opportunities there with because we use anesthesia. We use the anesthesia to get people in REM sleep, but I look at an EEG monitor, and I see the beta and alpha and theta waves. So a lot of times with hypnosis, we actually recommend meditation and hypnosis practices to our patients who can't sleep, because it'll help them kind of put themselves back to sleep if they have insomnia and they work up through the night. We do teach them how to maybe do some self-hypnosis or meditation practices. So there's definitely some opportunities for integration there. I have media and social media out the wazoo. So Sierra with Facebook, and all the other platforms, the YouTubes. I'm one of those people who have I'm creating an industry that's never existed before. So I really didn't have a framework. So I was just like, okay, well, we'll do Facebook, we'll do social media, we'll do YouTube, we'll write a book, we'll do a podcast. And, I can see the need for all the media that Carlos with the GPT. Oh my God. Like I wouldn't be able to do half of this stuff without, learning myself how to use AI properly. So, and then all you guys are going to be so tired from doing all this work that you're going to need to come see me and get some rest. So again, feel free to call me if you guys need any sleep or in Miami. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, so anesthesia. So all right, so here will be a tricky question for you. Because I've researched, sleep and I've seen podcasts on sleep and stuff. Certain people might say that, all right, well, if you're doing a drug-induced sleep, doesn't that actually prevent REM sleep?
So to answer your question, no. The way that we do it, we use propofol. Think of it as like unlocking a door. When people and I say specifically REM sleep, we're not really trained on proper sleep health, and what sleep actually means and what our bodies go through. So we definitely look at sleep from a neurological perspective. So there's two sleeps. There's non-REM sleep and there's REM sleep. Non-REM sleep is for your body to rest. REM sleep is the only time your mind can rest, right? So the way we use propofol is like unlocking a door. When people can't sleep, they usually can't stay asleep long enough to get to REM. We use propofol to get those people into REM sleep, and then we turn it off. Your mind takes over. It's like a door. Once we open the door to your mind be able to rest and release adenosine sleep pressure, then it takes over. Then we turn off our anesthesia. So it's not a full hour of anesthesia. It's just how long the procedure takes.
So it's like that movie where we like go into different dream states.
And I've seen people act out their dreams. People talk to me. People have very private experiences during their REM sleep session. So, there's a lot to unpack there.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's go to Miss Marvel. Marvel, let's see if we can integrate communication into sleep and AI.
Definitely, thank you. All of us communicate every single day, verbally or non-verbally. We agree with this. We need it. It's part of our gift of being a human. That's how we connect with each other, through communication verbally with our voice, and also we communicate non-verbally with our body language, facial expression, all the muscles that we use every day. And most of us, we struggle at one point in our life with sleep. My question is that why do we struggle with sleep? Because sleep we don't have to get taught. A baby doesn't get taught how to sleep. It's part of our humanness. We all know how to sleep. We know how to do that. And most of us, we struggle with sleep because of the stress that we're dealing every single day. And that takes me to what I do. It's finding the root cause of the stress that's happening inside of you, because the stress is something that you produce inside of you from the triggers outside of you. And that is not helping you to how to communicate with yourself, first of all, with the people that you love the most, and then in your business. You're struggling every single day. And that is a huge thing that I see over and over, not just in a business level, but personal, because I look at our holistic point of view. Communication is everything that we do every single day. Whatever we learn how to communicate with the AI, with ChatGPT, what we know, and Carlo knows, if you don't know what to ask ChatGPT or any AI, they're not going to give you what you're looking for. They cannot go in your head. So you need to learn how to communicate and what to say to ChatGPT. And I truly believe that through my own journey, because I'm preaching what I have experienced. Through my own journey, I came up with 3 things that help me, like a path, like a journey. First is, I call it the 3 A's. One is awareness. Before anything else, you have to become aware or to know why are you stressed, why you're not sleeping, why you're struggling connecting with the people around you. Without awareness, you cannot do anything. Then the second step is accepting. Accept that you are going through some stressful situation. If you fight it, what they say, whatever you fight, you resist, you persist. So it's accepting what I'm at, knowing that this is what is now. Okay, I'm struggling with this. I might not sleep well because of this and this and this. I know the root cause of it. Or if you struggle with communicating and connecting with your partner, why do I having these fights every single day with my partner? Or I tell to ChatGPT to do this, but it gives me something else. Why? Instead of looking outside, look inside of you. Why I'm doing all of this and for what? And then the last piece is from awareness to accepting is to take action, because knowledge without action is nothing. You cannot create anything in your life without being able to take steps towards. And most of the people, they want to know the how, which is tell me what to do and I do it. But before that, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing and to understand what is the root cause of keeping you of what you're not doing every single day. So it's kind of reverse engineer for me, helped me a lot with my own life, in my own personal life and in business and with my clients. Most of the clients come and it's like, I don't have confidence. I wish I have your confidence, Adriana. And I said, let's see what is behind the lacking of confidence. So I reverse everything engineer to get to the root cause. When you're able to feed the roots of that problem tree, then you're able to raise the fruits of whatever labor or whatever work you are doing every single day. So it's awareness, knowledge, understand, become curious of what's happening behind your issue, problem, whatever that is, then go to accept it what is, because if you're not accepting it, you're not going to be able to take action from it. And then of course the last one, super important, is take action towards the results that you found. So
Right.
that's a little bit of how we do it.
What's your elevator pitch?
The elevator pitch, I help women, midlife crisis women, go from employees to entrepreneurs, go from voiceless to impactful, and help them not just in their life, in their business, and in their personal life as well.
Okay, excellent. Let's go from communication to community building with Sierra.
Sure. I looked up, whenever you mentioned vertical integration, I looked up exactly what it was because I didn't really understand when you said it, and I've never really used that term or heard that term before. But when I looked it up, it actually made a lot of sense. I've had several clients who actually specialize in helping with vertical integration, like now that I know what it is. So vertical integration.
By the way, that's the word of the day. So
Yeah.
everybody needs to use it now from now on. Vertical integration.
So when I looked it up, vertical integration, what it is in layman's terms, or in like to make it easier, simple for everyone else, because I didn't understand. It's when a company is specializing in one specific thing for their company and they take care of one thing. And instead of outsourcing to other people the different pieces of what they do for delivering their product or service to the world, they start taking it on internally. So to like mesh communities in there, it would be when you start taking ownership or control of the culture of nurturing your people on your audience, or you actually create a community, and that would be part of one of the verticals that you take over. Or for example, I had a client who he actually specializes in working with corporate cultures and stuff like that. And he helps with leadership and team training and all of that. And he used to work for Starbucks years ago. And so this is a really great example, I think, of vertical integration. So when he worked for Starbucks, he was just doing management over several of the stores. And he recognized that Starbucks was outsourcing their refrigerators, and they were renting refrigerators in all of their stores internally, which was a very high cost for them. So he actually communicated with another company. They weren't renting. They had bought them. They were really expensive, and they would break down every few years. And then they cost a lot of money to have people come out and service them. So he actually had them switch it to where the company that was servicing it, he helped them to rent the machines to Starbucks. And then when they rented the machines, they also covered the maintenance and that cost, which reduced the cost for Starbucks long term. And then now that company, instead of just selling machine or servicing the machines from the manufacturer, now they were the provider of them and they were being rented out. So now they had recurring clients over time. And so both companies had this really unique vertical integration where now they were in control of it. And now not only were they able to not just service them, but they were the provider of them. So it's like they were creating these really long-term contracts and long-term relationships, which allowed them to grow rapidly. I think the company that we're talking about in question went from about 5 million a year to about 25 million a year because of that. And they started serving different locations all across the United States instead of just being in one state or in one city. So I love that concept of vertical integration. I really do feel like as entrepreneurs, we all start kind of with vertical integration because we're like, okay, we have to have this, we have to have this, we have to have this, and we have to do it all ourselves. And we can't really afford to outsource. So it's almost like vertical integration at a really small scale. So I love the concept of it. I would say that if there was something that not just to be community based, but if there was something that we provided as far as like how we would take vertical integration, because each of us on this call are entrepreneurs, I would say that it's actually a really hard topic to just integrate. Like if you're talking about just integrating our offers together, that's one thing. But when it comes to actually taking on an entirely new vertical, I think I went through this last year because originally I was just doing consulting and coaching for communities, which was fantastic. It took up very little of my time. But at some point I recognized that people needed help with done for you services. And so I started doing done for you for my client, which is a completely different vertical. I wasn't an agency before, and I took kind of an agency position, which was something that I used to outsource to other people. So then my company started doing that. And that would be a vertical. That would be something that's lateral. It would be something that it wasn't a vertical that we ever touched before, and we took ownership of it and started doing it and delivering it last year. It was much more high stress than I was used to. So it wasn't always fun, but I love a challenge, and then I approach it. But like I would say that when we're as entrepreneurs, when we're doing that, it's like we're trying to take another slice of the pie or another piece of the market whenever we're jumping into vertical integration. So as far as integrating everyone on the call, I don't think I don't want to mispronounce your name. Meenakshi. Tell me how to say your name.
Meenakshi, yeah, Meenakshi.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a Sanskrit name. It's Meenakshi. Yeah, that's right.
Meenakshi. Okay. What is your business?
I am into yoga and holistic health practices. I help people dealing with burnout, and if they're feeling disconnected with their own bodies, kind of numb because of high level of stress, exposed to really long time. So that's what I help people with: yoga, breath work, and meditation, all three.
So if I wanted to do some kind of vertical integration with everybody on the call, and Mans, remind me what your offer is.
I want to help with the self-development and meditation to get people from where they are to where they want, like to build like a vision for their future.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Mans, Adriana, Meenakshi, and Prosomnia. Tell me what your name is.
Yeah, you should put your name on the thing, Prosomnia.
You're muted. You're
muted.
Also
so muted.
I will do that. Nyree is my name.
Nyree. Okay. So Nyree, y'all's offers flow so well together. Like I feel like you guys serve a lot of the same audiences, just in the fact of people that are desiring personal growth or actual health and wellness. I feel like you guys would have a lot of crossover in your audiences. So that being said, I think collaborating and doing some kind of vertical integration amongst your audiences would be fantastic. And in general, I think Carlos and I serve a lot in the B2B market. And then Joe, I don't know what your offer is. What is your offer?
Well, right now I'm a roofer. I do
okay.
I do roofing and construction.
That's awesome. My husband has a background in construction stuff and has been working with a lot of contracting companies for their ops and leadership and all that kind of jazz. That's really cool. So Carlos and I with the B2B, and you guys with more of the like health and wellness, personal growth aspect. I do feel like B2B, any entrepreneurs, anyone who's wanting to grow in their business is doing something with personal growth. So if Nyree, for example, if you shifted to not just like if you had a vertical for athletes and then you had a vertical for entrepreneurs, oh my gosh, if you had a crossover of athletes who are entrepreneurs, that would be cool. That's probably a really small niche, and it would be super easy when somebody thinks of, do you know any athletes who are also entrepreneurs? Like as soon as I said that, I think I thought of like 2 or 3 people that I know. That would be really easy for people to jump in and think of who to recommend or who to refer. But that being said, I do feel like there's always a through thread. And I think that's one of the things when it comes to vertical integration, which is our word of the day. I feel like almost like Sesame Street, like the word of today is vertical integration. I do feel like there's a through thread where all of us have connections that would potentially benefit from it. And I've actually worked with several contractors before too. So I think finding that through thread is where the vertical integration comes into play.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so here's the next part here where we're gonna go. It's vertical integration, right? We have AI, and I was actually gonna go into this right now that you just started mentioning, which is there's the connections. And what was the word you said? You said crossover audiences. That's awesome. So we have AI, artificial intelligence, we have sleep science, we have communication, specifically, I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like transformation coaching over here. And we have community building. Okay, now let's hear from a yogic Ayurvedic perspective on how can this like be a crossover or an integrated part of the ecosystem?
As a yogi, I believe yoga can be integrated into anything, be it personal development, holistic health, wellness perspective, sleep, insomnia, and what else do we have? Community building, yes, indeed, and vertical integration. So what I think, yoga isn't just a practice for physical body workout, or it's not about just meditating. It's about creating that resilience in your body so that at all like high performance athletes that Nyree said she works with. So in general, people who work in high stress environments, both physically and mentally. So they are mostly into, if I talk about in yogic language, they are mostly in Rajas gun. So there are three types of gun in yogic science. One is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So rajasic is when you are constantly in fight flight mode. Your nervous system cannot rest because it's perceiving everything as fight flight mode, and it's too much. There's and the counterbalance to it is tamasic, which helps you, release stress and helps you rest and sleep. So if you're not letting your nervous system go from fight and flight to rest and digest, the sleep problems does help. So how yoga helps with it? It introduce control stress in your body so that you can reconnect with your body again, specifically when you go through high stress physically. So your body tend to detach from body so that you don't feel that much pain and exertion. Because if you feel that pain and exertion, you would want to rest and you want to numb that pain so that you can go on. That high willpower, it comes from when you numb that pain. So when you integrate with your body again, that's what yoga does. It integrates your body, mind, and soul together through controlled breath work and controlled body movements. And that's how you can induce sleep as well through natural processes. And also, this very thing, control stress, it creates resilience as well because it tells your nervous system that it's safe. Even if your body is going through stress, it's safe. And when you get that safety factor in your brain, that's when you can have high resilience, increased performance, increased mental stress as well. You can stay calm under pressure.
Excellent. Okay, well let's get the meditation perspective from Mons. And then just to let you guys know, this is an experiment. I am trying to experiment, trying to come up with something new here. And this is kind of like a way to create something that's never been done before. It's like, it's not a networking event. It's more like an experience, and we begin with brainstorming. So all these ideas, this is why I wanted to keep short like the first ones. We weren't able to do that, but from now on, that's what I'm going to implement. Keep the initials short so that then we can start building upon it slowly. But all right, let's go to Mons.
Okay, I don't know exactly about vertical, but I was thinking about integration as a principle. And for me, like I see like, a picture of bringing things in. Like you are like, if you see a bubble of reality and you're bringing things in. And the first thing I thought, like, okay, be aware of like ourselves, our own being. That can be like to expand. Like integration, I would say has no borders. So basically I see like you can integrate whatever you want. So if you start to recognize how you react or to different environments or in your life, I think that you can start to expand, your own awareness of where you are. But also like if you want to change your reality, I think you can create like a blueprint for like what you vision. And then you can integrate that like through that. When you manifest things in your reality, you can also like use this principle as seeing it as an integration. Like you bring a new reality into your consciousness. And of course, this will affect the energies, your thoughts and emotions. But I also think like the way that you also take action from that, the action will also then be more imprinted from this new fusion, you can say. And from that action is also where you can start to take like a bridge to that reality. Of course, when it comes to the physical world, things will take time. Like, it's like just because you visualize it will not just happen. You have to implement it through a process. But you build like a structure for it to bring in. So this is a little bit of the manifestation, but also I think like to expand your own awareness and what is in your own consciousness helps like to expand the integration of what you have currently. So you have a foundation. Yeah, that was a little bit.
Beautiful. So the blueprint. And, to your point is we can integrate anything. Yeah, of course we can integrate anything. We always have a choice to integrate anything. However, there are things that do not mesh well and do not combine well in order to have growth. So I think that would be the next thing. And since we took a long time for the initials, let's do like 45 seconds to a minute or 1 to a minute and a half for the next segment. We're gonna go through each person. So now we know we could integrate anything, but how can we what things do mesh well together, and then how can we integrate them where we create an ideal result? Because we could integrate certain things and then they don't give us the results that we want, and that's most people's problem. They have a lot of things integrated into their systems and processes and community and their communication and their sleep patterns, and then it's just not giving them the results they want. So how can we integrate stuff that only gives us results that we want? And let's go to Carlos. AI.
Sorry, here I got my Wi-Fi isn't working for some reason, but I'm here on my phone.
By the way, I apologize, Carlos, because I told Carlos we're gonna do a full episode on AI, and then he was ready to give a full presentation, and then I just overbooked the call. So let's just keep going, but I'll make it up to you, brother.
No worries. So I feel like when you're integrating, everything that I do is purpose driven. So I start with the end goal in mind, and then I simplify by removing multiplying factors. So, like, for example, a lot of people want phone calls that are quality leads for their business. Like, it doesn't matter what business, but then you got to think about it. Okay, so what kind of conversations do you want to have on the call? So let's figure out the type of conversation which leads to your ideal client, which leads to the problems they're having. And from there, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can figure out how to streamline the line and remove all the different noise that you think you need to have this, but in reality, simplifying integrations by focusing on a goal has always been like one of the things that's successful for me.
Nice. Okay, let's go to Nyree. Nyree, you have a muting problem.
I'm so sorry. Say that all over again. What was the question?
Oh, the question is, so we have, like Mon said, we could integrate anything, but sometimes we integrate the wrong things, and that don't lead to the results we want. And also, if the result is growth, then what can we integrate for growth, especially in your field?
Wow. I can tell you for us personally, how we first started out. Again, like, I didn't know how to bring this to market. And also, yes, there's a huge stigma associated with it. There was a well-known celebrity that unfortunately died from the improper use of what we use. So I also had that stigma to overcome. So without overshadowing the science and the invention, I came out like with IV hydration. Like, I figured, hey, that's something, a side thing that might keep the lights on. But, as people came, like, the message was like so confusing. They didn't know. And then how do you go from like, a B12 infusion to propofol? It just wasn't, so for us, just figuring out like what that vertical integration would look like was such a big challenge for us, just our first year. But now that we've narrowed down specifically into sleep, we just kind of stay in that field. And, we are trying to gradually, and part of our branding as we grow is a vertical integration of our own medications, our own blankets, our own sleep mask, our own devices, so the Walmart of sleep, if you will, so that's how we anticipate our vertical integration.
I love that. Okay. What have there been things that you had originally that were integrated into the brand that you had to remove?
It was the IV hydration. I had to take that out completely because the messaging and the services were just too extremely different.
Okay. All right. Adriana, let's talk about from the communication standpoint in your end. You understand the question, or would you like me to repeat it?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
For me, when I think of integration of what I do and how I support people, think of it, you have to integrate what's happening inside your mind because you produce the thoughts, or the thoughts are coming, depends, or you get influenced and those thoughts are produced. So whatever is the integration of your thoughts with what you bringing out of with your voice through your mouth, and then with actually is aligned with what you're doing. Because most of the times, let's be all honest here, how many times you said something and you did something else? We all did that. I'm the queen of that. I did that many times. I never, like, I said something and I did something else. And that's a huge thing. And for me, integration, when I think of the word integration in my work, it's integrating what you're saying, what you're thinking with what you're saying and what you're doing. And that's when you get the results. If one of them is missing, one of these links are missing or are not aligned with everything else, then that's why you're not going to get the results you're looking for. As example, as in speaking, most of the people when they want to become a speaker, they say it's like, oh, I need the confidence to be able to be on a stage and speak. And then I disagree. I say you don't need the confidence because I didn't have the confidence. You need to take action. But then to take action, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Because most of the people, when they want to be on a stage, is because they have a message. So why do you want to bring that message? Why that message is so important to you that you put yourself in uncomfortable situation to a world to see you. So it's coming back to your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Why you have those thoughts? What is the intention behind your thoughts? What is the intention behind the expression? How you express yourself, your tone, your volume, all these things. And then the actions that you take every single day to take you whatever that result you're looking for. So that's how I look at the integration.
That is so key. And I just lost my phone before this Zoom, and I had a breakthrough though, and that's a key thing here, because I was just listening to Tony Robbins in the car, and he talks about getting disturbed as a precursor to accomplishing something, and then I lose my phone and I get disturbed because so it's like, all right, well, did he just program me? It turns out the phone was in the same pocket in my backpack that I always put it in, but I somehow glossed over and I went around the house like 5 times looking for the phone. However, I had a breakthrough, and that is this. In my communication, I realized that whenever I lose something, let's say if I wanted to make $1 million, I wouldn't feel like super motivated to do it because it's just not something that I actually need. However, if I lose my phone, I'm going crazy, or my keys, I'm going crazy. But what if I could communicate to myself that the $1 million is just as important as the phone?
The values that you have to the things you're looking for, the results, is all of it behind the scenes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Sierra to bring it together in community.
Okay. So repeat the question, because when other people answered, I thought the question meant one thing, and then when Adriana answered, it sounded like it meant something different. So repeat the question.
Yes, it's all about perspective. So like, for example, like they might have like a different way they see it, and that's okay. And then, but I really love the way that you answer the questions, because you take it from a completely logical, mathematical point of view. You're like completely, this is like, you're on point. The question is like, sometimes we can integrate things and they're not aligned with growth or with our intention, like Adriana said. How can we align things? How can we integrate things that are aligned with the intention that we have?
Okay, so before you had asked Nyree, and you had asked, like, has she ever integrated something that wasn't aligned and needed to drop it? Because I think Mans brought up that point, and then Adriana brought up how to integrate moving forward. Cool. I understand now. So the question that you want me to answer is how to integrate things moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, you could take any perspective you want from here, like, or unless you need a direct question. However,
no, that's good. That's good. So for me, in the beginning of starting my business back in 2020, I joined a mastermind, and it was the first one that I'd ever paid for that had coaching inside of it. And when I joined that one, it was like the transformation that I needed to be able to actually make it in business. In my first 6 months, I'd made $100,000 because of having that mastermind. Mm-hmm. So I was really blessed by that. So I saw the benefits of being a part of that mastermind, and I decided that masterminds were a really great way to grow and to scale up quickly. And I ended up jumped into their first program that was like 10K. Then I joined their next program that was like 18,000. And then I joined their next one that was 36,000. And I recognized that I was just still in the same environment the whole time, and I was kind of like being in a bubble. And so I was like, okay, I need to expand out to other masterminds. So I started joining these other 30K masterminds. And when I joined, I wasn't getting as quick results. Like going from 0 to 100,000 in 6 months is like, it's a drastic result if you've never, like I'd just been a stay-at-home mom before, so I'd never done my own business like that. I'd done like side hustle things or whatever, but never at that scale. And so I joined these multiple masterminds, and I wasn't seeing the results. And I would say that that's the first time that I was recognizing where I was trying to integrate something that wasn't working. But it took me $250,000 before I realized that really hard lesson. I think I also, in my first year, I tried to instantly jump into ads because I really wanted to do ads. And that was a 10K learning lesson. I spent 10K, made nothing back. I was like, and I just wasn't ready. I just didn't have the cash flow to sustain that over time. So then the person who was running the ads for me, doing a really terrible job, threatened to sue me if I didn't pay more money that was for future stuff to get out of my contract and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. So I feel like we all make those mistakes whenever we're first starting out.
This legal trouble is with the mastermind itself?
What's that?
The legal trouble was with the mastermind?
No. The second story was that I paid somebody for to run ads. So those are two two different things that I implemented in the beginning of my business that I tried to integrate right away was running ads, because I built my business organically.
Question on the mastermind aspect. Do you think it was because the masterminds like wouldn't work for you, or maybe you have gotten enough mastery of the concepts that these masterminds would offer you in the first place?
It was actually because I've done a lot of reflection on this year specifically, because I'm thinking about what masterminds I'm going to join next, right? So the masterminds that I joined after that one were full of people who were brand new to business. And so it's like your environment is everything, right? So if you are joining a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, it's like the blinds leading the blind. And I jumped into these other masterminds, and I was one of the most savvy business owners in the room. And I was like, you guys, I'm not that great. What in the world? Like, where are all the, and I was like, how are these people even affording a 30K offer right now? Like, I just don't even understand, because their businesses weren't doing that well. I was shocked that it almost felt like a scam to bring those people into that environment and to have them pay so much money to be in there, because they weren't really getting that result of hitting. Like, I think if somebody's going to pay 30K, they should probably be at like 100K a month mark in their business. And nobody in that room was even close to that. They weren't even at 50. They weren't even at 30. They were at like maybe 5 to 10K a month and paying 30,000 to be in this mastermind. And I'm like, that's insane.
That's great marketing and sales. Great marketing and sales.
Yeah. Well, so the very first mastermind that I joined, I feel like I just didn't even realize it at the time. The person that was leading us in there, they had 5 different businesses that were all doing more than 10 million a year. And they were already really big in real estate. I think their real estate portfolio was doing like 50 million a year. And they had their own real estate company for syndications and buying and selling rental properties and stuff like that. And so they already were at a much higher level. So the level of people that they attracted were also really high level. And then these other masterminds were attracting new business owners who'd never maybe even built an offer before. They were building an offer for the first time. They were building out a landing page for the first time. They were like all of these really lower level activity. And so when it comes to a mastermind, you want to go into a room where you're actually up leveling and the other people are also at a higher level, because when you get in that room, they're going to pull you up. And so moving forward, the way that I'm integrating masterminds as I move forward is I'm going to strategically, there's at least 2 masterminds that I know of that attract really high level people. And one of them actually would probably be a really good connection for Nyree, just because they're high performers. They're high performers in business, but they get into a very athletic build. And their base is out of Scottsdale, Arizona. So let's connect after this, and I'll share that with you.
Okay.
But as I move forward, as far as masterminds go, I'm not interested in joining because of the price point, although the price point should be a barrier. I don't know why it hasn't been, but it should be a barrier to not allow people who aren't at the higher level yet. It's like being able to pay to get in the room, I don't think is a good solution. Like, there have to be other qualifications to get in a certain room.
That goes back to Adriana. It's communication. Like, a price is just a price. It has no indication of value except the value that they've given it. And then so whenever you come into the environment, then you realize how much value there is. If you know no difference. If you know no different, then you're seeing, okay, this seems valuable. But somebody like you who knows the difference and has participated in a bunch of these, you know different. You're like, okay, well, this is not the same value as this one, or vice versa, or you can actually determine pros and cons here. So, all right, Meenakshi, what do you think?
What I think, when I started doing yoga, it was mostly because I did not trust my therapist a lot that she can help me with the stress. So that's how I started doing yoga. And when I started teaching yoga, most of the people who used to come to me to take yoga classes were like, we want to lose weight. And my answer to that was, I don't know. How do I make you lose weight with yoga? So what people have heard so far before I started teaching yoga is that yoga is a workout. You can use belly fat. Yes, you can, but yoga is mostly about, releasing stress, stored stress in your body, your stress and trauma as well, stored trauma in your body. body. And if you are targeting yoga for weight loss, it's going to take a lot of time because weight loss has nothing to do with exercise. It's mostly diet. Calories in, calories out. If it is deficit, you will lose weight. If it is in surplus, you are going to gain weight. That's the law of losing or gaining weight. Exercise is to make sure that your body stay fit. If you're doing cardio, it will help you with the heart health. And if you are doing weight training, it will help you gain muscle strength. So that's where I integrated speaking, public speaking, that I need to educate first people about what yoga is. What is the definition of yoga? Because before that, people knew yoga as a workout. But what I have learned, the basic and simplest definition of yoga that I've learned is to, take your individual consciousness up to the level of universal consciousness. So the journey as well as the state of universal consciousness, that is called yoga. In between that journey is where you will keep growing. Your challenges will increase because when I started yoga, I just have one question. Why am I stressed all the time? Even though I'm doing everything that I've been told to, get a good job, have a family, get a house, everything, this should give me happiness. And I had a question, this isn't giving me any happiness. What is the real meaning of life? And when I realized that through yoga, my questions changed. Now I ask myself different questions. So it's a journey where I'm constantly growing and learning. So like Ciara said, that at some point of time, in that group, she started feeling that I'm not growing. So it's about being it's about leaving your comfort zone. Everyone was happy there because they are okay with earning that amount. Probably if income wasn't a problem, they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. So it's all about what I integrated through yoga is that mental practice to get out of your comfort zone, whether it's physical, mental, or any sort of limiting beliefs that we have been believing so far. And you said that an opportunity when the breakthrough, when your phone was lost, it's actually true. There is a Chinese word for it. It's called Wei Ji, where Wei means a danger and Ji means an opportunity. So in every dangerous situation, there's an opportunity. And every opportunity that you will get, it will make you feel that you're going into a danger zone. You're going in an uncomfortable zone because our brain, our nervous system is never designed for fulfillment. It's designed for familiarity. So your nervous system, no matter how uncomfortable, how painful it is, it will always seek familiarity. So we should always be okay to be in dangerous situation, unfamiliar situation, show ourselves differently, because that's what your brain prevents you from doing. It's actually trying to save you from embarrassment, failures, because it knows that failures might hurt, or if you're showing yourself differently in a different group, it might feel uncomfortable and you can feel that nervousness and that anxiousness, what's going to happen. But that's what exactly it makes life interesting. When you're expecting something out of the blue, like, did you ever imagine that if you lose your phone, you get a breakthrough that whether I can tell myself that $1 million is as important as my phone.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting because I've lost my phone in 3 different countries, and then thank God I have insurance, and then the insurance you pay $250, and then like they'll send you a new one. So, but however, this is sloppiness. This is being sloppy, and then I've decided that I didn't want to be sloppy anymore. So I started doing things that wouldn't lead me to that path of losing it. However, sometimes it's good to revert to old bad habits, just to get that energy of like anger, and then make a change that we need to make in the present. So, all right, Mons, I saw you taking a lot of notes. Let's go.
I just want to say 2 theories that I have around it.
Mhm.
One is that if you don't change the way that you behave, and it puts you in a situation where you struggle, where you think that my actions weren't right, if you don't change your action, the life will keep putting you into the same situation over and over again until you learn that lesson that I need to change. And second theory that I have is Carlos said that a lot of things that we can integrate through AI, and it's true. AI is fast, efficient, and it can be trained efficiently. Not that if I have one AI application, it can work very well. No, if I train it, it can work really well. So as a new coach, as a new speaker, I don't know how to put offer together, how to make something really creative, how to go out and post every day on my social media. But if I can train my AI, I can do that. And if most of humans do that, they will have a lot of time. They will have a lot of time and energy that they can save. And if they haven't invested in themselves, if they don't know what to do with myself and my empty time, where do I invest it? They are going to struggle. They are going to blame AI for it. That what do I do with this extra time? Like the COVID thing happened. A lot of people have a lot of free time where they could have learned something new, but everyone was clueless. Like, why did the lockdown happen? Why did the COVID thing happen? A lot of people could do a lot of productive things. They came up with new business ideas. I think Alex Hermosi was the one who struggled during the COVID, because I think he was a gym trainer, and that's when after COVID he started helping gym owners to build online community and business. So people are not investing their time in learning philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience at this point of time. When AI is going to become efficient and it will cut down on your working hours, you wouldn't know how to communicate with family, because it's difficult to understand people's psychology at the time, because everyone is having such a customized Instagram, YouTube, everything, that they think very differently. Previously, if you are in a family, 5 people in a family, at least 4 think alike. But now I can say in my family, if there are 5 people, 5 of them are different. So I need to be prepared to make sure that I understand them. Otherwise, I am going to struggle.
Yeah, we need both. We need both. We need AI, and then we need neuroscience, because
neuroscience, philosophy, and psychology.
yeah, there's no way that, like, for example, because all ChatGPT and AI can do is plagiarize and hallucinate. Depending on the prompts that you give it, then it will plagiarize and hallucinate in the best way possible. So I'm reading a book on neuroscience and Warren Buffett and all these things, and then I'm talking to it and I'm reading it from the book. It's like my baby. I'm like reading it like little things so it can create things that actually feed me from the knowledge. My favorite way to use AI is actually creating an analogy where I would tell it, hey, ChatGPT, I'm gonna read this text to you. Make me an analogy for this to explain it to me. Like if I'm reading something abstract, I'm like, if I don't understand it, I say, make me another analogy that a child can understand. And then it'll make me another analogy. And then I keep doing that until I can grasp it. And then when I read a different segment of the text, I will say, all right, so tie this into the previous analogy, and then like let's put it all together and let's map it out. So all right, let's go to Mon.
Yes. Okay. So I was keep thinking about, how do we develop after, what to integrate and what not to integrate. So I think a lot of that comes down to purpose in the beginning. Like, what you said, Josiah, what spikes your passion, what comes from inside. I think that is actually like a signal of like a direction that you naturally have. Of course, these systems can maybe be like hijacked in different cases, but the natural passion is like a pathway often. And like, for example, when we think about AI, for example, when we give it a prompt, so we ask them a question, we are actually giving it a purpose. And when the AI then work with that, it knows what to focus on and what not to focus on. So like the same thing with our life, purpose is what we do. So basically it's the reason why we do what we do. I think like to get aligned with that, and that needs self-knowledge. That is some of the foundation, I think, to know what to cut out from your life. And also, the principle of strength and danger, I like that, because like when you know that, you will probably have to do things that are dangerous, put you in new situation to be able to change. And that is also like another principle, like strength, to be able to like withstand pressure, take that way to go there regardless of what is standing in your way. I think that is something that will always face us. And then, okay, what is the mechanics of like, integration? I think basically everything like in your life, people, how they think, what you listen to, where you go to the gym, everything affects us more than we think. Like, for example, maybe the thought environment in a gym, I don't know. Like, but it goes very deep, and everything you do is basically bringing into your own consciousness and affects you in some way. So I do think like we have to like design a little bit what gets in and what gets out to be able to cut the necessary distractions out. But also like, integration have many different functions. Like one positive function of integration can be to like unify our mind. Like, if we have conflicts, I can notice this sometimes, like when I get like aware of my inner dialogue, that parts of me are in conflict and stuff. And I think integration can have that principle to unify your own mind, and that can create health in many other areas. So yeah, integration is a blending, and yeah, this is some thoughts.
Excellent. No, that's great. I mean, so now here's a interesting phrase that I remember from Jim Rohn. Getting people to work together is like herding cats. And this is my challenge today. We have 6 independent entrepreneurs, each of them with their own mind. And then I'm trying to see if we can build some value here, like a togetherness, an energy, insight, something, But each one of us comes in with our own perspective. Okay, can I pitch? Can I connect with somebody? Is there a value for me? What is the value here that we can get from not only from each other, but like from the conversation itself? So that's my purpose here, which I need to verbalize better, which is, hey, the value is gonna be in the conversation, not in what you bring. No, like what in our combination, words, ideas, concept, that's where the value is. So we're almost at the end here. This is the last 15. Let's talk about, shortly, in about a minute or so, what is the value that we can gather from what we've said so far? We lost in prosomnia. So if you guys need to sleep, you just listen to Meenakshi, by the way. But let's go to Carlos. Let's go to Carlos. Carlos, how can we get value from the conversation itself, and so that we can take, or what is some value that we can create in this last 15 minutes?
Yeah, so I feel like the biggest value, and I feel like integration is very personal. It has to come down to you spending your time with your thoughts. And I feel like the value that I bring is just joining the conversation. I wasn't looking to pitch anything. I'm literally just looking to practice my AI, get people to use it, break it, make it better, get feedback, and figure out what the problems people are having with AI. So that's why I joined this call. And personally, it's been like you said, Jim Rohn always says, I have a ton of quotes, but one other thing is your value is a direct reflection of your lifestyle. So if you bring a ton of value into the market, your lifestyle is also going to show. So my goal is every day bring value, either by posting, by talking to people, by, launching campaigns, talking to clients. It doesn't matter. In integration is I feel like talks about your values, who you stand for, what you are. Ultimately, those things are going to be like a guiding North Star to where you want to be. So that allows you to remove the noise of the things that are not going to help you with that process. So that's how I think about it.
Beautiful. All right. Go to Sierra. Sierra, the sharpest tack in the West.
That's an interesting. I'm not in the West, but that's fine. Are you from Texas? Yeah, just per chance.
No, I've been to Texas, but no, I'm from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
He just likes to wear the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I know, it's the cowboy hat that's like throwing me off, but it's got like puka shells or something on it.
Yeah, the story behind the hat is I helped my friend move across the country to Utah from Florida, and he was gonna throw this hat away, and then I was like, "Don't throw it away, give it to me." And then so he gave it to me, and it turns out this is like a $500 hat. So I'm like, all right, nice.
He was just gonna throw away $500 because $500 not that big.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So ask your question again. Something that might be cool to do in the future is whenever you ask a question that you're going to have everybody answer, type it into the chat too. If you have them prepped in advance, that way people can see the question in the chat. Because a lot of times I think whenever we're trying to have a forced perspective, we're trying to answer a specific question or something like that, it can be kind of jarring or stressful to try and come up with an answer that fits within the confines of whatever the question is being asked. So people will be very focused on their answers and not get the opportunity to really listen. And I think that I struggled with that a little bit today. So I just thought I'd bring awareness around that so that everybody else could potentially benefit in the future from my struggle.
Yes, because you're coming from the point of view, like this seems like a mastermind type where it's like you have specific questions that you answer for value and stuff. And then whereas me, I'm just disorganized. So I'm like, yo, like whatever you want to say. So like from my point of view, it's just a brainstorming in the beginning. We're just brainstorming. So it's just collecting the ideas and then bringing them together at the end. That's kind of like my framework.
Yeah. Again, I loved when you actually shared that about like 10 minutes ago. That would be super cool to share in the very beginning. And then if you type that into the chat, like, hey, this is the brainstorming part of this. And then we're going to get into more focused activity or whatever, however you want to frame it. It sounds like being disorganized is not necessarily bad. Like there's a lot of people with an ADHD brain who are very scattered in thought and are more of the creative type rather than the integrator. And those kind of like creative ideas are where intuition hits and where like really wild innovation comes from. So I love that. And I think that it's a gift. And when you lean into how to utilize that, like it's going to be amazing. And so if you just preface people with that, I think that people will be able to slide into that energy easier.
Yeah, I like it. It's my communication, and it's like Adriana said, she resonated with that, and I'm like that. I'm very creative, and so the experiment here is, okay, how can I integrate that side of me with concreteness and like like sharpness of Sierra Lueck. It's hard.
I've had a couple of people tell me I have like a very integrator energy, and then I have my integrator people who tell me I'm very creative, and I'm like, I don't know what to think, guys. I'm just being me. But I think
you got YouTuber energy. You got
goal. I just have never started my YouTube channel. I did business instead of YouTube, but we're actually working on it right now.
You look like you work for Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Like
I'll take it. I'll take it. I like Gary Vee energy. I'll take that. I was there was something I need more coffee is what I need.
Go get it. Go get it. Let's go. Let's go to Adriana. We'll come back to you. Go get some coffee. Go get some coffee.
Well, how much longer are we going to be on? We're already 20 minutes over the top of the hour. How much longer?
Yeah, just another 7 minutes. We do 90 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go get coffee right now.
Come on, get it. It's fine.
It'll take me 7 minutes. I'll be back and everyone will be gone. I'll be like, dang it.
Damn.
We'll stay for you. We'll stay until you come back.
Well, so Meenakshi, you said that Joe is like air all over the place. I've hired 7 different mindset coaches over the last 5 years, and one of them had this really cool perspective, and he called it masculine versus feminine energy, and I think it's more creative versus integrator energy. And it's like the creative energy flows best when it has a container. And so if you don't even have to have like a really like box or confinement for that container, it can just be like a cup, and so just having like a tiny bit of like, hey, this is the flow of what I'd like to do today. We might go totally off script, but this is the flow of what I'd like to do. Having something simple like that could make your creative energy and everyone else's creative energy, because you seem to attract a lot of creatives. Like Mons is very creative, Adriana is very creative, Meenakshi is very creative, Carlos is also very creative in a super integrator kind of way. Like his stuff is very organized and strategic. And so, and the other people on the call, Nyree, and he left at the very beginning, Robert.
Yeah. He sent me a message. He thought the AI presentation was gonna take like for the entire call. So he's like, yo, I thought like da da da, and then he left. I'm like, all right, cool, man, whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's just about one of the things. My husband's military, so that's probably where I get a lot of my organization from, is just like forced. He's like prior service Army veteran, and he talks about all the time, and this probably is something that Adriana talks about a lot too, is just expectation management in your communication. If people know how things are going to go beforehand, they're usually willing to endure more confusion. They're usually willing to endure more. It could be like a frustrating moment for them just based on how their brain thinks or something like that. They're usually willing to endure more as long as there's really clear expectation management. Yeah. So I love that you have a communicator on the call, and you were going to jump to her anyway, so I can mute.
That's right. Let's go to Adriana.
No, I love what you said. It's yes. I think it, taking the whole what's happening today, throughout my life, I learned one big lesson that hit me in my life, in my face many times. Everything happened for a reason. And you attract the right people, even you don't think they're the right people, even if they hurt you, they stress you, they trigger you, they annoy you, whatever that is, they come with a lesson. So I love the analogy that you mentioned about the creativity energy and like the femininity, creativity energy and the integration, the masculine. I know you like analogies, so I'm going to give you an analogy. Think of this, the energy, the creativity energy, which is the feminine, but not necessarily the female, but the feminine energy is like the fire. And the fire will spread and it will go wild and it will go crazy. And you need the integration, which is the rocks that hold the fire in one spot. So the fire to do whatever the fire needs to do its job, to create, to blast, to blossom. So we need both. You can't have one without the other one. So the same I see with all of us here. We need the AI to help us. We need the brilliance of Carlos to be straightforward, knows how to use the AI. So for our own businesses, to develop our businesses, keep using our creativity, but have that rocks. Then we need Sierra to be like, you tell me what you want and then I will deliver it to you. And he helps it in the community base. Then of course we need Man and Manashki. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong.
Menage a trois.
To also to have that, not just the rocks and the foundation, but have allowing ourselves to create by being connected with whatever is already in us to be expressed out to create. So it's the integration of everything, and we are the right people in this circumstance to come together to create something. It might look messy on the beginning, which is okay, because it has to look messy on the beginning. Nothing is perfect on the beginning. And then as this develops, then you're going to continue attract the right people to build this, to have the rocks, to have the foundation. So then you can allow your creativity to share with the world, whatever that was going to look like.
Yes. And just like the communication, what's the communication here? It's messy. Like Sierra was like, it's throwing me off. Like I'm sending so many mixed signals and she's like, she doesn't even know what to do with them, So
but look how much you learn from that. And if you weren't messy, let's call it messy, because I don't believe in that negative or positive or bad or good. If this didn't happen, Sierra will not have the opportunity to learn something about herself, and also to learn something that you can, create later on.
Hey guys, so before we leave, I want to give you guys something because I feel like I actually open up this GPT and you guys can integrate it with anything you're doing. So it's called Prime by GPT-90. It's a GPT that I created that helps you launch your next 90-day plan. And it has a lot of the concepts that I learned from like Todd Herman and a bunch of people. All you got to do is click launch mode. And basically what it's going to do is going to give you the option. Do you want a soft coach? Do you want a challenging coach? So I like to use the challenging coach because everything that you aim to integrate into your business or whatever, literally is going to question it. Hey, do you really want to go there? What if the guy you have for Facebook is really bad at Facebook? It's going to tell you all these options. So I'm going to drop the link and you guys can integrate that into your workflow and get a 90-day plan when you're done.
Excellent.
Just dropped it in the chat.
And I'm gonna create a group at the end as well. All right, let's go to Mons real quick, and then we'll go to Meenakshi to end up to finish.
Okay, so what was like the question or direction?
Just the value that we're at the end. So like, what's the value that it's like...
I'm saying everyone, that question has come up like 10 times in this call. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get that. I am also a little bit all over the place often, actually. But I guess like I can talk about my own, like, for me, this is like a purpose for me, actually. Like it drives me forward to where I have my own vision, to network, talk with people, also do more like podcasts, learn to do videos, and like, so I personally feel aligned with like this, doing this, and I think it's like has many like potential benefits of like doing activities like this. We're living in a global world right now, and to network, speak, and share ideas and create things are like what drives history forward, and it's like what sparks visions. So yeah, it's greatness in it.
Okay. So now let's go to Meenakshi for final thoughts. And then if you guys want to participate, she usually does like a visualization exercise to bring everything together. So Meenakshi, close us out.
Yeah, thank you. That was a good idea to put me last so that everyone can go and sleep.
Yes.
I really love the variety in the room today that we had. And if I had to put it together, I learned a lot. Like AI was about keeping up with the tech thing so that you don't get outdated and left behind. And sleep is important if you don't take care of your sleep. in a natural way. You might have to go through expensive treatments like anesthesia. So I am important, even though I induce sleep while I talk. And about community building, I personally feel is really important to find like-minded people, because if I talk about personally myself, I have been in a group of people where I could get spoiled easily, or I could get motivated easily, I could get good grades. And until I was 20, 25, I did not realize that how company is affecting me, how people around me are affecting me. And when I realized that I've got very strong mirror neurons, meaning if I live in a company of successful people, growth oriented, purpose driven, I actually achieve more. I actually drive my own inner passion more. And that's what I did when I turned to yoga. And they actually taught in a philosophy that satsangati, that means company of good people or like-minded people, is really important. So that's what I believe in, building community when you are a person whose values are growth and contribution is very important, so that in case you're trying something new, you have that support, because the journey towards growth is not constant grow. It's sometimes downfall as well. So your community is there to support you. You have someone to fall back on. They can uplift you, and there's no substitute to meditation. Journey is always inwards. Everything starts from within you. Everything will end from within you. So that's important. And last but not the least, roof above your head is also important, which is
this is interesting. This is final thoughts would be that I am learning how to navigate this realm, and sometimes I have too many people, and sometimes I have too little people. Let's say sometimes like just 2 or 3 people that show up to these, and sometimes like the caliber of the intelligence of the person, and it's interesting to navigate that. And then some people are trained speakers, and some people are not. So it's important to learn how to navigate that. So that's one of the things that I'm working on, to integrate that vertically into my platform. That, like, sometimes somebody might have a pedigree that might be like super valuable, and then there might be somebody who has an interesting perspective, which could have an idea, but they may not be like as trained or whatever, but they may have an idea that could spark my interest and curiosity to do something incredible. So that's the point of this. Thank you everybody for being a part of this. If you have any final thoughts or anything you want to plug, go ahead, and then we'll get going.
I'll go ahead. Thank you so much for everything.
Absolutely. Tiara, anything you want to plug?
I actually have something that I think would be a really cool tool for you. It's part of a 30-day challenge that I just launched. It's not free, but I'm happy to chat with you about it. It does have like a couple things for hosting events though that I think would be really cool. And it's all around community building. It's lower ticket. That might be something that would be really valuable for you. No pressure, because I didn't come here to sell, but just as you were talking about things, it might be something that you like. So if you want to chat, I'll chat with you offline. Cool. As far as plugging anything for anyone on the group, I'd love to just connect and be friends. I just opened up Spaces on my profile. I was maxed out at 5K friends, and so I just deleted like 200 people that weren't engaging with me anymore. So if you guys want to add me as a friend, that would be cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Lead from the digital arena. 90 minutes of true strategic authenticity. This is the Joe Science Experience.